ranking all 32 starting NFL quarterbacks. Welcome to Random's Recap. I am Random with the recap of today, where I will be ranking all 32 starting quarterbacks going into this year's season because we only have so many few days until the training camp finally starts. Before I start, I would like to mention, this is all my opinion, so please don't be in the comments like, well, Tua scored 70 points in the Broncos game. I don't care how many points he scored this season. I'm gonna say what I feel like saying, so please do not attack me in the comments because truthfully, I don't care. Anyways, let's get started with the rankings. Now, allow for me to explain the ranking system. We have the S tier, the elite, the game changer, somebody who can win with pretty much just about anyone in the league. The worst, the best, doesn't matter as long as you have him, you're elite. And then we transition over to the A tier, where you are a game changer. You are that guy, you're just not him. You're not someone who's done it quite often. You know, we need to see a little more on you. Then we have B tier. B as in basic. You are a game manager. You are not a game changer, game manager. You would suck on teams that do not have the talent, or maybe you're just basic. You would be good on any team, but you just can't seem to win when it really matters. Now we have the C tier. For those who have yet to prove themselves in the league, yet they still show plenty of signs that they have that potential to be the guys someday for their franchise. Now, for the final tier, we have tier D. D as in dog. I don't even know how you still have a job in this league. Truthfully, you belong in the XFL. I'm pretty sure there's college quarterbacks that will probably outperform you. Anyways, now that I have that explained, let's get into it. Lamar Jackson, S tier. A two-time MVP, probably the best dual-threat quarterback Baltimore has ever had. Yes, he has his concerns with his interception to touchdown ratio and playoff concerns. But besides Mark Andrews, who has he really had there to help him along? I think for what he's given us, he's exceeded any expectations people gave him in the offseason, proving he's just one of those guys who changes the game for the better as he always puts his team in a winning spot. Josh Allen, S tier. So many things I can actually say about Josh. While I do think he's incredibly talented with a gifted arm, his urge just to toss the ball longer than 40 yards on every play is insanely strong. His accuracy has always been his largest issue, and with Stephon Diggs leaving him, I can't say if he's going to be any better, but compared to the other 32 quarterbacks in the league, I would still definitely take him over the other 29. Deshaun Watson. Do I really have to actually explain this one? Unless you're a delusional Browns fan or you just think shit grows on rainbows. You know damn well Deshaun Watson is not a good quarterback. This guy is a creep. Why is he still in the league? I actually have no explanation for that. I don't know why he should be in the league. But the Browns can, who thought paying this dumb son of a bitch was a great move. I'd rather flush money down the toilet because at least I know the toilet will show up to most of the games rather than getting massages. Deshaun Watson, I really hope you somehow just find a way to get out of the league. I don't know even why you're still here. Joe Burrow, S tier. I promise you, not every quarterback on this video is going to be S tier. I just think highly of some of these, and Burrow is one of those guys. Injuries aside, when that man is on the field, you know you ain't blowing out the Bengals. He will always keep them in the lead. It's always very close, and I think if not, he's the most accurate quarterback right now in the league. And I would confidently say he is the number 2 option behind Patrick Mahomes currently at the moment. Bo Nix, C tier. I watched him at Oregon. Just like I watched all the other rookie quarterbacks coming into the season. But I cannot say anything on him because this is an NFL tier list. All rookie quarterbacks will be placed on C tier because we know absolutely nothing about their NFL careers just yet. CJ Stroud, A tier. Hang on. Before you crucify me, hear me out. I love Stroud. I am a Buckeyes fan. I love watching him play. But S tier is specifically for those who put up numbers consistently throughout the years. By the end of next season, Stroud is definitely guaranteed S tier. I just need to see him do it again. Just like everyone else, before they could put him on that pedestal next to Mahomes and Burrow, he just has to do it again. He really just has to, so he could defeat the quote-unquote sophomore slump year, which a lot of people think exists. Anthony Richardson, B tier. He was injured most of the season, so it's actually really quite unfair to put him on anywhere. He's above C, that's for sure. He's above C, but he's not an A, but he's not a B. But I just need to, it's kind of like CJ Stroud, except I wish he really played a full season. I need to see more of Richardson before I can really say where he belongs. But in my opinion, he reminded me of a younger Cam Newton, except, well, he's not Cam Newton. He's going to be Anthony Richardson. That's all that matters. He's going to turn out just fine. Trevor Lawrence. Sunshine, the Promise, whatever they call him over there in Jacksonville. B tier. I was never on the Lawrence hype train. I think he's an amateur quarterback. I don't think he possesses any elite talent like everyone cries about. Especially when he got drafted, how they were proclaiming he's going to be the next Peyton Manning or something like that. He has one of the highest paid contracts for no results whatsoever. He had one playoff game that he won due to a standard Charger choke job. Speaking of choke, didn't he choke away his own playoff chances last year versus the Titans? But I'm not going to write him off yet. He has plenty of time, but it's going out really fast. The other rookies keep coming in year by year and they just keep outshining him. Lawrence has so much, he probably has like 1 or 2 seasons to really prove he's that guy. Patrick Mahomes, S tier. Absolutely my favorite player of all time. There is no words to describe his talent, so I'm just going to keep it really short so I don't sound like a Mahomes glazer. He's an automatic S tier. Everyone knows this. Matter of fact, he goes above S tier. He's in God tier. Aiden O'Connell, who? C tier. I need to see maybe a year or 2 before I can say anything. He was in between from trash to mediocre and probably will be replaced very soon if he doesn't show signs of promise inside of him. Justin Herbert, A tier. One of the few quarterbacks I actually feel sorry for. Someone blessed with elite caliber talent, but yet his team is surrounded by a bunch of McDonald's workers they found behind a Home Depot or a 7-Eleven. You ain't really gonna get much done with this team. He is stuck in hell that is the Los Angeles Chargers. And unfortunately, he probably ain't gonna leave it anytime soon, so I really hope they get a rebuild around him to finally show off his elite talent. Tua turned the ball over. B tier. I can't stand people who defend Tua because he has the arm of a pool noodle and can barely stand the weather. When it's not hot as hell outside, he's a Samoan Dak Prescott, spoiled with weapons all around him, yet he can only look good in the regular season. This motherfucker is a joke. Any S tier quarterback would be a dynasty with that team. Aaron Rodgers, C tier. When he's not on crack, he decides he wants to be an NFL quarterback, but even then, now he's just a really older shadow of himself. I would definitely not want to invest in him if I were the Jets. I mean, they already did anyways. They're a bunch of idiots themselves. Especially after coming off that ACL tear he got in the first play of the game. I think it's over. Personally, I think he just needs to hang it up. The window has been shut for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't think he's got anything left in the tank. Russell Wilson, Broncos country. Let's ride to the C tier. He's not horrible. He's really not. I feel like a lot of people gave him a lot more hate than he was deserving of, but he's not on a basic level like some quarterbacks like Tua or other quarterbacks you're going to see in the B tier in today's video, but he does make a lot of mistakes. He does. And he has proven wherever he goes, he typically destroys the team. He put the Broncos in death hell. I mean, the Seahawks did just fine, but anyways. Steelers, he's your problem for like 5 weeks until Fields finally takes over. I don't know why Fields hasn't been named starter yet. I don't even know how Wilson is beating him out. That's actually quite embarrassing. Anyways, Will Levis, B tier. Not too much to say on this banana peel eater or mayo drinker, whatever he likes to call himself. He's shown he could ball out. So I say give it 2 years. He's not exactly a CJ Stroud prototype, but he can win. He's shown he can win. He shows he has strong leadership power that a lot of teams would like to possess in a young quarterback. So if they could build around him, that's if, because the Titans suck ass at that. Titans will have their franchise guy finally after a very long search. Kirk Cousins, B tier. Essentially, a white Dak Prescott, who will win you games, but when it matters, you're gonna lose it. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention, he got paid a stupid amount of money just to warm up the field until Penix finally takes over. Kyler Murray, A tier. A lot of people will actually be upset with this one. A lot of people will actually be angry with this one. But here's the catch. I don't care. When Kyler is healthy, it's a totally different game. This dude can run anywhere on the field, avoid any tackles, and has a rocket arm. If you've seen the Raider game where he basically took that shit into overtime, you know what he did to those poor guys on the field. This is a joke I usually make when I talk football, but I always said he is what Lamar Jackson would look like if he was lighter, weighed a lot less, and yeah, definitely a lot shorter. Bryce Young, C tier. As much as I say there's no such thing as an excuse in the NFL, he is the only quarterback who really deserves one because that was one sorry ass team he had. His best receiver was 40 with like 5 kids and a mortgage. Like, everyone needs to cut him some slack. Everyone needs to. Dak Prescott, B tier. If the B tier perfectly fits someone so perfect, it's 100% Dak. Dude is the most basic quarterback you will ever find. You know he's not going to lead you anywhere, but he will get you the wins in typical Cowboys fashion. Just don't expect anything with Dak, because just like every porn star, he's known for choking really well. Jared Goff, A tier. You know what? I'm going to give Goff some respect. I know a lot of people don't want to say anything, but he's shown he's more than a game manager after this year leading the Lions basically on a historic run, almost making the Super Bowl if, of course, Dan Campbell didn't go, "Oh, I'm not going to kick it. I got big balls." So, you know what? I'll give credit where it's due. Goff did what exactly he was told to do, and he did the job perfect. Jordan Love, A tier. I feel like this one's going to be a really high one. I feel like this might trigger some people, but I feel like it's not. But just the same thing as CJ. He's maybe not as good as him, but damn it, he came pretty close. And he impressed the hell out of everyone who wrote him off. I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence already, but that is just my opinion, so please do not take that serious. But I can't wait to see another year of him. Matthew Stafford, A tier. One of the oldest quarterbacks left in the league right now, yet he still balls out as if he's still in his prime, and it is fantastic to see. And he's shown before with him in the game, it's truly never over as he barely lost to the Lions in the playoffs. So for what he's doing with his age, oh man, Stafford is still one of the best in the league. Derek Carr, C tier. Honestly, I really wish I could put him a tier lower, but out of honesty, I can't. Because it really makes the other quarterbacks there look much better than they really are. He's definitely one of the worst in the league for sure, but he's shown he could slip by with a win. But that is all. He's not a winner and wasn't a winner with the Raiders, so he's in C. C as in clown. Daniel Jones, dog shit. Hey, he joins Deshaun Watson. Eli Manning 2.0, many try to say about him, when in reality, this dude should be in the XFL. Fuck it, maybe the XFL's too good for him too. I don't know. He can't throw. He runs like a character in a horror movie about to get whacked. This guy is a joke. All he is good for is just getting shit on by the Cowboys every year and just being Carson's bitch. Jalen Hurts, A tier. Had one of the best quarterback seasons 2 years ago with his rushing touchdown record, but then followed it up with a fluke season, so that's why a lot of people already want to say Jalen Hurts is a one-hit wonder. But I'm not going to write him off yet, like a lot of people already have. I do think he's still got a lot to prove with this season coming up. I think with a few maybe offensive coordinator changes, O-line, I think with all things fixed, he's a solid quarterback, and I think he's definitely an elite caliber talent. Maybe. Just maybe. Brock Purdy, A tier. 49ers fans, please do not kill me, but I'm just going to say what I really think. He's a game manager, but you can't blame him for taking advantage of what he has around him, so I'll say A tier. He's not elite like Mahomes or Allen, because God willing, if one of those two landed there, oh man. The team around him is so talented, but people are just going to want to take away credit and say he has no talent. He is doing a damn good job to elevate those around him still, and I don't think it's as easy as some people say it truly is. So for what Brock is given, I think he's doing a really good job of taking advantage with it. Geno Smith, C tier. He had that one good year in Seattle to convince everyone to think he's really good, when reality was he just got lucky with it and it was beyond mediocre. If you think Geno is your franchise, you're as delusional as people who say Jones is a good quarterback. Baker Mayfield, B tier. One of the most overhated quarterbacks in the league. It actually makes you cheer for him, but in all honesty, he's had his time and he has proven he's basic at best. He's not a guy I could say I fear for my team to face on Sundays, but he's definitely a guy who you can really never count out. He can win you games, just don't expect a Lombardi from him because it's never happening. And that will do it for today's episode of Random Recap, where I do recaps on all things sports related because I have nothing better to talk about.